Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 29th. It is just past 10 a.m. We're going live here in Phoenix. As always, we're going to catch up on what's going on, hopefully answer a few questions and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Greg Corbett with the AZ Lifestyle Group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. If this is your first time to this channel and you're looking to find out everything you need to know about what it's like living in and or moving to the Phoenix metro area, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you can be notified whenever we post a new video. We are helping people from all over when it comes to finding the best places and neighborhoods to live here, and we absolutely love it. So if you're even thinking about making a move and you need any assistance whatsoever, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when it comes to moving to the Phoenix metro. All right, let's bring our good friend and partner, Rudy Lopez with Prime Lending. Rudy, good morning. How are you, sir?
Never been better, sir. Thank you for having me, as always.
You got your coffee and you're good to go?
Yeah, and I'm looking a little darker. I've been out in the sun a lot. I'm noticing it here for the first time, getting a little sun, getting a little tan. I'm feeling good. You know, I should probably stay out of the sun too much. But,
you got to be watching, especially it's going to start warming up. We've had an amazing week weather-wise, and it's actually, considering we had such a hot Easter, and it was like 100 degrees on Easter, like at the beginning of the month, the rest of the month has actually been extremely pleasant. It's been a fantastic April. We've had a very cool week. I mean, it was like, almost going to rain yesterday. I don't think really rained, but it was like all overcast and cloudy and nice. The weather was cool. We had like 73 degrees on Tuesday. Today it's supposed to warm up a little bit, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be, high 90s again. But we've had a great week overall, so no complaints.
No, I think, I saw a couple of drops of rain yesterday, and yesterday evening around 5, 6, 7, it was like 70 something degrees. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful evening.
Yeah, no, we enjoyed it last night. It was good to be out and about and enjoying the best of Arizona. So man, it's we're getting into the warmer weather. It's still hot and everything else of what's going on here, obviously from real estate market, that type of thing. We'll get into that a little bit. Any kind of events, anything you've been doing, anything that's been fun that you've been hitting up around town? Or are you just working? You just working like me?
I'm working, and then when I get home, I help take care of 2 kids. So the nights out and enjoying the town are few and far between at the moment.
Just make something up, Rudy.
I'll tell you what. Whenever we do go somewhere, we just go to Old Town, Scottsdale. We just hang out there and let the kids run around. We go to a couple of the different parks. So no shortage of stuff to do. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm in a similar situation between like helping everybody right now. It's been obviously very busy. We enjoy helping people as much as we do. It keeps us busy. It doesn't allow us to go enjoy the stuff as much. Now, we're both close to Old Town, so it's nice where if we ever do get a couple hours here and there to just go out and enjoy a little bit, that's it's definitely a great spot to do so. But it's been crazy, and it sounds like it's going to continue to being crazy for a little longer here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Phoenix. I mean, not only Phoenix, but all across the country, the real estate market is not showing any signs of slowing down. And I know we're going to touch on a few things on this call, but that's why I'll say this a million times, sound like a broken record. Use Greg and I, your eyes and ears here. If you're relocating, or even if you already live here, and you want a great team behind you to work with you, then we're always on board for that.
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's I guess talk about the Cromford report. I think that's always good. I'm going to kind of bring up the market index again here and kind of show everybody what's going on. If we continue to see the market index, and again, this has always been like record highs in this 470. To put it in perspective, like this maybe hit like 330 back in the boom time. I think that was the highest point maybe in like 2005 or 6 previously before the last few months, and then it's kind of escalated, went to like 530 probably a month ago, and it's been trickling down. And the reason it's trickling down is this demand index, and overall our demand is fairly normal. Like normal demand is about at 100, and we're probably like 110 right now. It's the supply that is creating all of this chaos right now. That there's just nothing for sale, and so with the people that are coming in and looking for something because there is just very little out there for people to secure, and people need to get into something. That's what's creating this mass chaos. So it's not this insane amount of demand. It's we have no supply. So it sounds like a broken record, but I think the big point is, even though this market index is coming down, I wouldn't look at it with too much, like it's a problem, because if you go into kind of the information as far as our market snapshot, again, we're all in the green here. All this in the green means we're continuing to be a seller's market. And that means like active listings being down, listings under contract, like the total listings under contract versus actual active listings. Like to think about that, we've got 4,200 active listings and we've got 13,000 ones that are under contract. That's ridiculous. So, and then if you look at the prices per square foot, continue to go up. The 313 versus 304 versus 292, like that stuff keeps going up. So again, I don't want to bore everybody with too many details on what we're talking about here. I got to bring up my screen. My screen's not working, Rudy. Where did we go?
Well, one thing that I do want to piggyback on is the supply here. Going to that topic, we're at around 1.1, 1.2 months of supply in the greater Phoenix area, which is a healthy / balanced market. Is usually about 6 months of supply that can sustain both buyers and sellers and have it as a healthy market. We're at 1.1, 1.2, which is still ridiculously low. I mean, we have a very long way for that 6 month mark to hit. So, like you said, the index is slowly going down, which the first thought would be like, well, does that mean that, less buyer demand, the market's going to start cooling down? The answer is not necessarily. Then it's just that there's just not enough houses for sale. Therefore, obviously, buyers are just not buying, and buyers are having to release their rentals for another 6-12 months. They're having to stay where they are. They can't relocate, or they're maybe moving somewhere else because they can't buy here. So a lot of different reasons why that market is starting to move down. But you touched on those things.
Yeah, no, and it's a combination of, like, I think demand is down because maybe people are getting priced out and they just can't do it anymore. And it could be just a situation where, like, okay, well, I can't do anything right now. I think a lot of people are in that similar situation. So we'll see how it affects us. Again, we still continue to have a bunch of people who are trying to make moves. We have people coming in from out of state. But again, like we've said, this is happening across the country. This is not, and I'm seeing stats all over. Like sometimes it looks like Phoenix is the craziest market, and sometimes it's not even in the top 10 of being the craziest compared to when you look at some of the other stats of some of the other cities and states across the country. So it depends on what stat you're looking at to figure out like where we're at. But from our perspective, we're still seeing some crazy stuff. I do want to share, we'll share something else here because we don't get to often share listings. We spend so much time with buyers, but we had one of our very good friends and also viewers of the channel, good friends of my wife and I, James and Anastasia, who just listed their house. This is a really cool house right in the southern part of Arcadia. It's kind of just has like amazing views of Camelback. They have views of Papago. I'll take you through. It's in like a 6-home gated community, and awesome pool in back, really nice finishes. This was a home that was built back in 2017, and it's immaculate. It's one of the best houses you'll find. And if you're looking for something in the $800,000 to $900,000 price point, you're looking under $1 million, 3,000 square foot with the pool gated community in the heart of Phoenix. Like, you're not going to find anything else like this. So we want to share this. Not only to give James and Anastasia a little love on for their home, but also for anybody who's looking to find something. And if you're in that price point, then I think you definitely want to take a look at that. And it's
Beautiful.
5333 East Cambridge Ave here in Phoenix. So check that out if you guys are looking out there. If you're online trying to figure out, and that could be a potential fit for you, give me a holler.
It's not going to last very long. I'm pretty sure about that. Even at that price, I saw an interesting stat that the 750,000 and million and up homes are actually selling at a higher rate than the 250 and below. And a lot of it is because there's less homes in the 250 and below range that are selling because there's just not as many available. But I found that very interesting that the higher end market is just booming. And what's even more astonishing is that a lot of them are for cash too. I heard someone a couple of days ago from Seattle, Washington say that he was helping a client buy a house for $5.4 million and the client was going to put 50% down.
Yeah.
And they got beaten out by another person by $50,000 for a $5.4 million house.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show it doesn't matter what price it is. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, especially like thinking about last year, how we thought that like, especially on the higher end market, I was helping some buyers out in that high end 5-6 million price point. And then COVID came and we were using it as like a leverage of like, hey, you have no idea. Like you might as well give us a deal right now because you're not sure what happened. They got in where it was able to shave like, $700K off the list price to get a deal. And probably like a month or two later, that would have not have happened. So that we got lucky timing wise for them on that.
Yeah, and then another thing too, if you're bidding against other buyers and you're having to go above list, one of the positives is that this year the Phoenix metro area is anticipated to grow appreciation wise by about 12 to 14%. So if you do have to go above list and it doesn't appraise, you'll more than likely recoup that money here pretty soon, which is another plus in how hot this market is. If you do have to overbid, you're going to recoup that money.
Yeah. No, that's what it's looking like, and everybody seems pretty confident in it right now. I mean, it's pretty crazy to see, but we'll see how it kind of keeps trending. I will keep everybody posted. It's interesting to be on the listing side again. My last two listings, like. We went under contract in the early part of January and got those closed kind of right before this chaos started happening. So I haven't been on the listing side as much to kind of see it. So I'll kind of let people know. It's always good to kind of share some of the experiences that I'm seeing from multiple offers coming in on properties to be able to help more buyers make that happen. I was talking to somebody last night, and an agent called me who's very interested in this property. And one of the big things, and this is something I'm a huge believer in, and I know Rudy, you're saying like you got to pick up the phone and call people and kind of figure out like what's important. I think a lot of agents neglect to do that, don't even care. They don't like to call and figure out what's going on. You have to build a relationship no matter what the situation is. Building that relationship could make the difference of getting a deal done or not. Oh, Rudy's gone.
No, I'm here. I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry. Is there a delay? If there is, I apologize.
No, you're good.
My biggest philosophy is that I can't provide a solution to a problem that you might not be experiencing. So I think that phone call is part of that. It is a big reason why having the phone call, developing that relationship, addressing specific questions is so important, that if you fail to go that extra step, you could potentially fail to help somebody out. So that's the reason why whenever we have an offer, I always call the listing agent, not only to ensure them that they'll be working with us as a team and that we're all a team, the listing agent, the sellers, the buyers, all of us, we're all a team in this, but to also address any questions. And of course, there's always a question. Every time I talk to a listing agent, they have a question. And whether or not that the answer to that question helped them make the decision for us to win the offer, I don't know. But I'm willing to bet that had that conversation not taken place, then our chances would be would be less in us winning that offer.
Yep. Yep. No, it's so true, and but it gets taken for granted. So I think it's good for us to bring up just so we talk about it, because again, we're here to do our best to help get people into a home, and there are just little things that you can do that a lot of people don't, or a lot of people just won't take the time to do. Quick, we've got a good morning and howdy, fellas, from Chip. Chip, good morning, brother. Good to see you out and about. And then I wanted to bring up something else, Rudy, because I think you can touch on this. We're hearing a lot of people waiving appraisals, which makes sense, and I think, especially with people, if you're going over list price, it almost has to be a given, because if the seller is saying, hey, my property, I'm going to list it at this, and then people come in and they're like, hey, I want to do everything I can in order to secure the property, and they go over the list price, then to me it kind of makes sense that you probably should waive your appraisal, or at least waive it to at least the list price and say you're going to cover the difference, because if you're saying you're going to pay more, I think it makes sense to waive that a contingency for that amount you're going over. But I had a situation come up again. I'm following the real estate forum here. I'm going to bring up this particular post that I thought was interesting. I'm sorry, we're back on the... All right, so appraisal came in short. My buyer is okay with paying the difference and would like to move forward. However, the problem now is the file is stuck in underwriting with conditions due to the appraiser noting that the addition, which was done way back before the current seller owned the property, is not permitted. However, tax records show the total square footage is correct, which would lead us to believe it's legally permitted. We're supposed to close on Friday, but due to the appraiser taking their time to get the appraisal back, we are now at crunch time. This is an interesting topic because, it's not all about value. If an appraiser comes in and kind of throws in, and typically an appraiser is not going to figure out whether it's permitted or not. That's typically not in their scope of work. But if an underwriter, if you're working with a bank where an underwriter sees any note from an appraiser like that or calls that out, and then they hold you up, I mean, you're in a market right now where you could be canceled on and lose your earnest money because of that. So it's so important to have a lender who has direct access to their underwriter, can work through this stuff. If you work with any kind of larger bank or credit union or anybody who has an underwriting department that doesn't really care who you are because they're just dealing with a long line of files, you're in serious jeopardy of getting your deal canceled.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And the only reason that came up in that particular situation is more than likely because obviously the appraiser made note of it. Had he or she not made note of it, then it would have come up. I had a similar situation where there was a couple of very, very minor items that the appraiser decided to make note of on the report. And the underwriter, of course, made note of that, wanted them to be repaired / covered up. Like it was very minor. Yeah. But to your point, I was able to talk directly to our head of underwriting, and gave me a good solution on how to get this done so that it would not hold up the closing. Yeah. And that was huge because I was able to get it done same day. Yep. We were able to get the small cosmetic items taken care of, and we were able to close on time. No one else knew about it, and it was good to go. So yeah, depending on the dialogue and the relationship from the loan officer to the underwriting department, it could definitely cause a lot of headaches and heartburns for people involved.
And these type of things come up all the time. It's not like Rudy's not dealing with this. Like he just has a team that knows how to support and get stuff done to make sure the client's taken care of. Versus a lot of lenders, especially the big bank lenders, they do not. You're going to be SOL if that happens. Real quick, we've got Chris jumping in, saying hi guys, saying hi from Brooklyn. 5 minutes before his next meeting. Watch you guys later. Chris, appreciate you jumping in, saying hello. Hopefully all is going well in Brooklyn. So, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, Chris.
Yeah, and then shoot a question if you need anything, Chris. it's one of those things where it's an important detail. I had a deal loss this year already because my buyer absolutely wanted to work with her bank. She ended up wanting to be with Bank of America. You know, it is what it is. Whether it's Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, a big like, I'm now kind of basically telling people if that's what you want to do, I might not be able to work with you because you're putting yourself at risk that I can't fix.
Yeah, and you know, that's just not their bread and butter. These large banks, they make the majority of their money from other products that are not mortgage related. When COVID started, Chase, for example, they all of a sudden tightened up their guidelines and their restrictions and their rules on mortgages pretty much across the board. And you had to be, I think at that time, I'm not exactly sure. It was like you had to put at least 20% down. You had to have at least this credit score. Like it was a very tight box that you had to fit in order to just get a house.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just gets to the point where if you're working with a big bank, it doesn't really benefit you anymore. I get a lot of people that tell me I'm going with my bank because they have all my bank accounts and they know me. Well, they don't really know you. I mean, it feels like they know you, but they don't know you. They don't really care.
And they're not going to just like go in and like, oh, hey, we got all your information right here, so you don't have to send it to us. You're still going to have to send it all. Yeah.
And we all have to follow the same guidelines. All the mortgage companies have to follow the same rules. There's no more walk into the branch, shake hands with your banker, and you've got a loan. That just does not exist anymore. And I think a lot of people still believe that, but it just isn't true.
Yeah. Well, everybody, you got to learn a little bit. We'll kind of coach you up as well. I'm trying to think anything, you know. Again, we talk about the market stuff. For anybody out there, if you're watching, feel free to jump in with any questions you guys have. We'll answer. We'll do our best to answer that. Actually, Chris, jumping in with you, work with estate planning. I haven't done that as much, Chris. So I would have to do some research and kind of reach out to some of our partners to be like, hey, is there anything we can do some research for you depending on the situation. So holler, we can talk through it, and if it's something that we think that you're in better hands trying to reach out to somebody else, and we'll definitely guide you in that direction. But it's probably worth a conversation off air if you want to give it a shot.
Yeah, there's lots of good estate planning attorneys in the area. So if there's a couple of names that we can connect you with, Chris, we're happy to do that.
Yep, absolutely. Rudy, anything you got going into this weekend, going into May, dealing with the heat? Anything you're going to be up to?
We've got friends and family coming in town tomorrow from Texas, so I'll be showing them around for a couple days. But other than that, I've already warned them. You better bring your plenty of chapstick, plenty of lotion, because your skin's gonna get pretty dry because you're not used to this.
Yeah.
And drink lots.
Well, they won't have the humid. Well, I guess it's not humid all over Texas. Like depending, like was Dallas humid, or is that just Houston? No, you're good.
No, it's humid. It's humid in Houston and Dallas. It's pretty humid all across the board.
Yeah. Well, we got Trevor jumping in with a fire. Trevor, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hopefully all is going well up in your end. I think Trevor's up in Oregon right now, so just moved in a new house up there. Hopefully the house is treating you well, Trevor. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. We've covered pretty much. Unless we've got other questions coming in, I think we're going to wrap it up for this week and kind of get prepared, make sure we're taking care of everybody who's out there. We've got more calls coming in. We've gotten some more Zoom calls today, Rudy. For anybody else, if you guys are watching out there, pick up the phone, send us an email, shoot us a text. We're here to kind of guide you. So if you're planning on making a visit, if you're planning on trying to figure out what the best way to put a strategy together to move out here and make it work and make it a winning situation, give us a heads up. It's helpful to kind of plan in advance. So if you're coming out in a month or two, or maybe you're even 6 months away, I think it's helpful to kind of jump on a call with us. So Rudy, anything you'd want to add?
Yeah, regarding appraisal gaps, if you're a buyer and you're putting at least 10% down on a house, we can work a strategy for you so that if the appraisal does come in low, we can work it so you're not necessarily coming out of pocket extra than what you had already anticipated. Obviously, it's a case by case, and it's something that I'd have to go over with you individually. But don't be discouraged if you have enough for 10% or more into thinking that now you're going to have to come up with more money, because there are strategies in place, and you have to find the right lender that can put these strategies in place for you so
Yes.
that you're going in with confidence as opposed to fear.
Yeah. No, there's so many moving parts to all this, and if you don't have them all together, it's the difference between winning or losing, especially on these deals. And if you don't get the right one, let's say you miss out by a small amount, or you're not able to kind of help with like giving the terms that the seller needs right now, it can cost you more later, and that's potential purchase price. That's potentially an interest rates going up. And I don't like, real quick, Rudy, before we jump off, anything on interest rates moving?
They're Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac is anticipating them to be around 3.75 going into the end of the year and into 2022. So
Okay.
right now they're in the 3 to 3.5 range, give or take. Some folks are getting a little bit lower, but yeah, they're going to go up, and so are prices.
Yeah.
So again, if you're thinking about waiting for this market to crash, you're going to be waiting, and you're probably going to be spending more money in the future, unfortunately.
Yep. Some people aren't waiting. Like, most people aren't waiting. They're trying to do it. It's just it's harder. It's harder than everybody's used to. But
Yeah.
we'll do our best to help you out. Rudy, always good catching up. Enjoy your day. Have a good weekend. I'm sure actually we'll be in touch here again soon. But for everybody out there jumping in, Chris, Trevor, Chip, always good to catch up with you guys and say hello. Reach out if you guys have any questions. Until next time, everybody, have a good day.